Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Minecraft Bedrock Survival. In today's episode we're going to be heading over to the Redstone Testing Warehouse where we're going to be having a look at randomizers. But before we do that, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell and do whatever crazy steps it is that YouTube asks to get notifications for the videos that you want to see. So, if I can do that without falling in the water, let's head on up and have a look at our Redstone Testing Warehouse. I don't know what's going on, the controls seem to be lagging today. There we go, we're in the air again. So here we are, let's scoot across here and take a look. Now as I said, today we're going to be having a look at randomizers and getting different signals. So basically the way this works is you have a comparator, and when you have items, the comparator will give off a different signal strength even depending on how many items you have or the type of item. So what we're going to do here is we've just got a couple of little basic setups on the outside here, and then I'm going to show you something else that I'm working on the inside. So let's just have a look here. If I tap that, you see just that lamp comes on. Let's tap it again. Tap it again and we got the note block. So let's tap that again. So we're still getting that. We're still just getting the single lamp. And there you go. So we've got that one there. We got the note block. Now what we have here to get this, you have some sort of input. So we just got a button there, and we have, it's either a dispenser or a dropper. I can never remember which one. It's a dropper. And what we have in here is we have a set of stackable items, and I have one item that is non-stackable, and that one item gives off a different signal strength. Now you see here I got some wool here because I did intend to come and replace these before. The more items that you have in here, now these are stackable items, so the more items we have in here, the less chance we have of having the unstackable items. So at the minute there is a 1 in 9 chance of getting the note block to ring. So let's just take some of these out. So now we have a 50-50 chance because we have 2 of them. And what we have here is that's just simply going to fire that into the hopper, and the hopper is angled so it just returns the item straight away. So let's have a look here and see what the difference is with our 50-50. So we get the note block. That time we got just a lamp. Just a lamp. Still just a lamp. And then we got the note block. And then we got the note block again. Oops, might do that without falling down. Let's just pop a couple of our items in here. Just whatever we have in our inventory. And now the chances are 1 in 5. So what we should have now is more often we should just have the torch. So anyway, I hope that you get the basic idea of that. Now let's have a look at this little setup here just to show you the signal strengths. So here we have a hopper with 1 stackable item in, so it's got a hopper inside of it. And you see there, the comparator comes out and it is just simply giving one level of power. What I've done here is rather than having like lamps and torches and stuff, we're just going to use repeaters because you get the light on there and it tells you exactly what where the power level is at. So now if we hop over here, we have a bucket of water, which is a non-stackable item, and you see here that gives a power of 3. So we can use that to decide where the signal is going to end so that you can trigger different redstone mechanisms. So we could have something like Iskal's been doing where he has his randomized competition, and at the heart of it this is basically how these systems work, just with having a non-stackable item. Now you could also do this with shulker boxes as well. You could have the shulker boxes be deployed and destroyed. It seems like a bit more complicated a system to have to get different signal strengths, but it probably would be a lot more accurate if you were having a large series of things, which is what I'm going to come on to now. We're going to head on into the inside here of the Redstone Testing Warehouse, and you'll see I've been conducting lots of experiments with red coders. Now if you're not sure what these are, basically it's you have a signal strength that comes out, and depending on that signal strength you will only have one output. So I just do a little side profile of these. This is basically how these are made. So you have the signal comes in, and you have an array of repeaters, another array of repeaters, and you have some redstone torches underneath, and then some redstone torches on the top. I've doubled up on here just because I've been trying to experiment with these, because they don't work quite as well in Bedrock as they do in Java. But I am working to try and solve that problem. So let's just have a little look here, and we'll come up to this one here. You see in here I have just a 50-50 chance, so we have a water bucket and just one firework rocket. So let's tap that. So you can see there we just got the one output. That time we got the far output. So we got the far output again. But the problem I'm having, oops, the problem I'm having, if you see here, is when we get the far output, keep an eye on this one here, because you will see that the other one flashes. So when these reset, they trigger all the other ones to reset. Now I think this may just be a Bedrock issue, and I will come up with some kind of scheme where we can then only get one output, because we do this one here with the note blocks. I've been doing like lots of experiments here as well to try and see if I can get different power levels to keep it from doing this. But you'll see there, when the second one is triggered, the first one gets triggered, and so does that one again as the system resets. So you see that one there, we just got one. And then you see there, that one gets triggered, then that one gets triggered as it steps back to 0. So I will come up with some kind of solution for that. I'm just not entirely certain how I'm going to do it yet. But that'll be a mission, I think, for another episode. This is just a nice little super quick episode just to show a little bit of a randomizer and how they work. So this is basically how you would have it in your circuit. You have an input which will send this redstone signal into a dropper. And depending on how you fill that dropper is depending on the probability. So we have here one non-stackable item. You know, you could use anything. I think some of these randomizers that I've been testing have got wooden swords in them, and depending on what you have, it will depend on probability of getting the extended signal. One thing though I will say is they have to be different items. You see here I've just popped in all these extra green ones here. That will eventually, well, unless you want to have the probability improve with time, but then that would have to be reset every time. So you see there we're getting one output each time, and so far we haven't selected a green wool. There we go. After a few presses, you'll see there that if you have the same item, they will eventually bunch up. So it's probably better just to have all separate items. So at the minute, this is a 1 in 9 chance of getting the bell to ring in this case. So yeah. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was just a super quick look at the putting randomizers into your circuits. We may do this in some of our future builds, just to have a little bit of randomness into some of our mechanisms, just for some fun there. So I hope you enjoyed that quick look there at the randomizer. So don't forget to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.